Duel Review is brought to you by NexusDigitalComics.com. On today's Duel Review, it's Solty Ray, the anime. I'm RJ.
And I'm Nick.
Let's get to it.
Welcome to Thursday the 28th of June. We are doing Solty Ray, the anime.
That's right. And there's kind of a lot to go over. This is one of those things that kind of encompasses like everything. It has artificial limbs called resembles. It has a shell over the city, which, yes, let's do it to get shell over the city, called a roar shell. And you know, it's featured a little bit of Blade Runner-y, but it's much cheerier than that. It focuses on a mercenary bounty hunter, Roy Revant, who has he has a bad past. I don't remember when it's outed certain things. Let's just say that he had a family, no longer has it, and he runs into this strange girl with. They are ears. That's what they're supposed to be, is like ears. The green tufts that come straight out of her head.
Those are ears?
Weird.
I thought it was part of her hair.
Solty Ray, yeah. It is kind of, but they like twitch and stuff. Anyway, it's weird. It's kind of weird. It's kind of a weird style that she has. But she's, you know, a young girl. She's kind of kick-ass. Again, I don't know how much I should spoil, but I guess she is fully resemble. Like most people like lose an arm or whatever, and so they get the bionic replacement to resemble. She is a fully like an android kind of. He's like helping me gesture. It's great. What do you contribute to do?
I'm helping hands.
So she is full, and so there's definitely a stigma attached to that. But she has a heart and soul, you know, seemingly, and she's kind of a unique thing. She runs into Roy. Roy helps her out, and she in turn helps him because she's badass, even though she's this little girl. She's a pretty tough cookie.
She's a freaking robot.
Yeah. And, okay, so then there's the RUC, or is it RCU?
RUC.
Is it?
It's RUC.
RUC, and they are a government group. They're government. They're going after, like, rogue people, and Roy's employer is kind of connected to them, but not really. She's basically like a bounty hunter or a bail bondsman kind of thing.
Right.
So Solty Ray attaches herself to Roy. Roy kind of takes her in reluctantly. They become very close. And then there's another group apart from the RUC. You know, so there's the RUC, there's the bounty hunters, and then there's like the rebel faction. And darn it, I always forget her name.
Always a rebel faction.
I always forget her name. Rose. That's what it is. Rose. Yeah, Rose. Rose is part of this rebel faction, and she's very flamboyant. She's got kind of like piratey shoes, like she has that kind of nautical, like pirate aesthetic a little bit in her clothing. So you know, communicates kind of her spirit, I guess.
Nautical.
Well, not nautical, but more the pirate thing is what I was going for.
I got you.
Anyway, so she's kind of this rebel, and she ends up, you know, getting herself into trouble, and she finds or Solty and her, you know, find each other, and turns out there's more to her and Roy than we might have known before.
Without giving anything away.
Yeah, you can kind of glean, but whatever. I'm doing my best here. So this is one of those animes that I think stops for the manga. It stops kind of abruptly, and it's a little irritating. It's kind of like when you start getting comfortable with the characters and then you find this thing out and, you know, you're invested and then it just kind of stops. So it is one of those animes, and thank you for anticipating the stops thing for me. There it is. So maybe it's possibly a little bit hard to recommend just based on that.
Right.
But so many of these animes are, because that's what they're doing, is they're trying to gain interest for the manga. I don't know about how much in America, though. Like, I don't know if that works in America. I think we all just like, oh, well, I guess that's the end.
Yeah, and then we just kind of move on.
There have been a few that I really want, like Berserk. We really need to do that at some time. In fact, yeah, we should write that down. Berserk, that's one that they start off with a scene that is not in the anime. It's in the book. I mean, it kind of makes sense, right? It's a future event that happens, but it only happens in the book. So once it ends, you know that's going to happen, and you're just like, okay, well, what was the story about what happened? You know, like he has like a crossbow for an arm now, and it's like, how did that happen? You know, but you have to read the manga to find out. So that's one of the few that I've been compelled, but I still haven't really done it. It is kind of an endearing. Salty Ray is kind of an endearing anime. Like I say, you kind of care about these characters. There is the obligatory, we're all at the swimming area in our swimsuits episode. Like, for some reason, that just shows up. One of the animes we're going to do next week or the week after, Chrome Shelled, whatever it is, they have that too.
Right.
So many of those animes do.
Yeah, I think they just want to throw people in bathing suits.
Exactly. It's ridiculous. But
I don't look good in a bathing suit. I can't do that.
I don't know. It's a solid anime. It's a lot of fun. It's on Netflix. No, it used to be on Netflix, but they took it off. I think they either rotate things or they must have found some kind of audio error or I don't know what, because it was on there. That's how I watched it.
Yeah, I think they just rotate things. I think, you know, after a certain amount of time of it being on, they take it off, and you know, it really sucks. I wish they just had a huge freaking library, but they don't.
So keep your eye out. You're not going to mime anything?
Oh, well, I
can't. Just like dumbfounded.
I don't know what you're doing.
I thought you were just going to follow me.
Keep
your eye out.
Out.
For it.
For it.
And I don't know. I think you'll have a lot of fun.
Yeah. How is it visually? I liked what I saw.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those animes that I wouldn't really like write home about. You know, it's nothing to like log away as, ooh, this was the best anime, you know, whatever. Or they did something new. It's just kind of a solid, you know, it's like Gurren Lagann or whatever. It's clean. It's fairly colorful. I like Roy's character. I mean, he's very stereotypical. He's kind of the gruff, you know, strong but silent, keep to himself kind of guy. But for some reason, I really like him. And of course, he has artificial stuff too.
And how about voice acting?
Voice acting is good. It could be better. They have, you know, kind of slightly grating girl voices, some of them.
Yeah.
I think Rose and Solty do fairly well. Their voice acting is fairly good. I like Roy's voice acting, and you know, it's one of those things where it's more than just like the action anime. You want Roy and the bail bonds gal to get together, and you want Salty to be his new daughter, and you know, it's like you want them to have a completion, you know, kind of.
I was gonna say, and I bring up this manga a lot because it was one of the first ones, but Battle Angel Alita, it kind of reminds me of that, you know, where you know, she is this really badass kind of, well, in Battle Angel Alita, she was like this robot chick. In this one, she's just a person with full prosthetics. You know, and that character gets taken in by a more or less surrogate father who also has a past and has a, you know, history around him that kind of she gets involved in. So it has that kind of feel to it.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, it's
by the way,
not as
sorry.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, by the way, I hear that they're making a Battle Angel Alita movie, which I'm really hoping that they do.
I was just gonna say that it's not as interesting as like Elfen Lied or Lead or however you want to say
Elfen Lied.
It's not as interesting as like that. It does, you know, it's a little more even keel, but it's interesting. I don't know. I think most animes are in some respect.
Yeah.
There are definitely bad animes out there, and we will let you know when we come across one. I don't think this one's one. I think it's a solid. You know, if you come across it and you say, hey, what the heck? You know, I'd like to watch a new anime. This is a good one.
Yeah.
Again, I guess I would recommend, you know, Gurren Lagann over it if you haven't seen it, because it's, I wouldn't say a similar vein, but it has a similar appeal to, you know, it's family friendly a little bit, and you know what I mean. It's not too heavy, but it's still heavy enough that it's interesting. And
so you would say that for people who aren't mature enough, I guess, for Ghost in the Shell, they would watch this?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Ghost in the Shell is very mature. A lot of people are turned off because it's a lot of talking heads. Mm-hmm. It's very political. Ghost in the Shell is just amazing because that shows you it can be a TV drama in animation. You know, it's like, I wish we would embrace that a little sooner. But this is definitely just more of a fun romp. I was going to see how many episodes it was. 24, typical, you know, a 2-season kind of thing. Or actually, I think it's more seasons because I don't think they do 12 episodes a season in anime usually. Anyway, so yeah, check it out. Salty Ray. If you're wondering like me, I saw it on there for a while and just wondered, and finally just took the plunge, and I thought it was worth it.
Good.
Check it out.
Glad.
All right. Follow us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, tell us what you think.
Check out our wares at spiderwolf.com. We have t-shirts, prints, his card game.
So close.
I know. And my short stories. Plus we have Kickstarter projects coming, and we have new things every day on NexusDigitalComics.com.
And YouTube.
And
On
YouTube.
our channel. Yeah.
On our channel.
Yeah, they might be easier to find on YouTube for right now.
Yeah. We're still working out with the deal with the website revamp.
So
Sorry,
anyway, lots of
taking so
fun new content. Yeah. And especially Game Lab, I would recommend that. It's
Yes,
a lot of fun.
We have fun doing it.
Yeah. All right, guys. See you next time. Coming up, the movie Man on Fire. Freaked me out there for a second because the levels went. Boop. No, only I can clap.
I can do it too.
No!
By the power of Grayskull.
Nick, you're a murderer. Don't you know there are millions of spores in the air? When you clap, you kill them. Murderer.
I'm okay with that.
I weep for the fungi.
I weep for the fun guy too. He's the life of the party. I almost got a tattoo. Almost.
Then he chickened out like a girl.
They wouldn't do what I wanted them to. I may just do it anyways. Tell them I don't care how, even if it like.
No, it's not a good idea.
The other thing.
This is gonna be a black mush. He wanted it too small. He just pulled the classic newbie tattoo person thing. Everybody does it. Like seriously, I did it the first time. You don't know what their capabilities are. You just have a great idea and it would look bitchin', but they can't do it because it would just, they know better and it would just kind of like turn into a green blob when you get older.
Yeah, and I'm very happy that they told me that they couldn't do it rather than, oh yeah, we can do it, and then find out later that they really couldn't.
You know, tattooing to me, when people ask how it feels, like does it hurt? Take your fingernail and jab it really hard as you can into your arm, and then drag it along. I don't think it's any worse than that.
Yeah.
It's really not that bad. It's really not that bad except for the ribs. The ribs sucks. And possibly other areas that I have not tried. Like the head.
Oh.
And eyeballs. I couldn't have my eyeball tattooed. I don't know if you're badass or dumbass if you do that, honestly. On today's Duel review, the anime Solty Ray. I'm RJ.
And I'm Nick.
Let's get to it. One more time, because I had a brain fart. Ooh. Yeah. Right. Yeah. On today's Duel review is the anime Solty Ray. I'm RJ.
And I'm Nick.
Let's get to it. Why'd you say that?
I don't know.
Do you want me to pause so you can say that?
No.
You feel like, I need to say more words.
I do sometimes feel like I need to say more words. I have to say, we did get better with the whole shooting. You know, because in the beginning, you know, we were shooting, we were wasting our entire
Yeah, but
clip.
sometimes now we're like... Didn't do anything. Oh, I got one. I got two jammed in there. Look at that. That's fun. I've never seen that before.
Oh, I'm out. Oh, no, I wasn't. I think I'm out now. Yeah, I'm out.
Stop it, Nick. Stop. Stop.